Welcome on behalf of Intel and SAP to this business transformation tour. Today, myself and Shannon Poulin from Intel want to share with you experiences of how we have seen corporations across industries, across geographies, leverage digital transformation and innovation to face this age of disruption, to what some have come to call the age of never normal. So during this period, we have seen organizations continue to use technology to focus on their key objectives, increase revenue, become more efficient, become more profitable. But over the past year, we have also seen organizations focus much more on addressing what we've come to term as wicked problems. Complex challenges like the global pandemic, like fighting climate change, inequality, or economic growth. We call these wicked problems not because they're evil in nature, but because they're defined as complex problems with many different sources and causes. When we can see that they are systemic in nature, they're affecting all areas of our organization and beyond across society. And also they are undefined. It's difficult to agree on what exactly are the solutions, how to implement them. So what we are seeing is organizations that are facing these kinds of challenges by becoming intelligent enterprises, by using technology to become learning organizations that capture continuously insights to take the right decisions, that take action not only to test new technologies to prove the reach and impact of these technologies, but really to transform the organization to face up to these challenges. And they do this clearly aligned with their company and brand purpose. Those are three extremely important ingredients of a digital transformation when we're facing up to this kind of challenges. Allow us to walk you through these three blocks. When we talk about becoming learning organizations, we're seeing these companies having the capacity to capture data, insights, structured and unstructured, throughout the organization and from the environment. Think, for example, in the healthcare industry, when fighting back the current pandemic. Customers like Parkland Health and Hospitals in the US are now able to capture real-time data from structured and unstructured sources, from their patients' symptoms, from the volume of occupancy of beds or the occupancy in their emergency room, and provide this data through analysis in real time throughout the whole organization, 24/7, being able now to predict what will be the volume of demand for the emergency room, the occupancy, how do we plan now the best services, how do we provide those patient outcomes. That is an organization that is using those insights, that is learning to transform and offer the best services. But not only do we learn from internal, external data, we are able to learn also on how our experts are working. How do we run end-to-end intelligent, integrated processes? That's the impact of the intelligent suite. So for example, in finance, when we can support from record to report, when we have the capacity to identify the key KPIs of a team, the bottlenecks, where they have challenges, provide them the information and cooperation tools to meet their targets efficiently and supporting those key KPIs. When we have that end-to-end integrated vision and insights, is the key moment to apply machine learning. Embedded machine learning throughout the processes that helps those teams automate and become even more efficient. Let's think of the case of Dula, a leader in natural ingredients for food. They can now boost by 20% their capacity of their finance teams in key areas like accounts receivable by leveraging the embedded machine learning across these end-to-end processes. So we can capture the insights, analyze them, learn and act from them. The key next step we're seeing in these organizations is when they are able to automate the processes, take out manual repetitive tasks, and become more resilient and scalable by allowing the system to take over. That is the impact of intelligent robotic process automation. And this has proven essential when facing the challenges of the global pandemic. For example, this is the case of a large leading automotive company in Germany. They used to address more or less 10 inquiries from their suppliers on a daily basis. When the pandemic hit, this grew to over 1,000 inquiries per day. Will you continue to be requesting my materials? When will I get paid? So we helped them implement an intelligent robotic process automation that could now extract data from those inquiries, identify what was the need from the supplier, and in most cases, automate their email response, ensuring that none of those thousands of inquiries went unattended. In more key challenging areas, for example, providing essential healthcare materials, Zuellig Pharma, who is providing support to over 35,000 medical facilities, realized they could not only receive orders from these customers during office hours. Given the challenge of the pandemic, they needed a 24/7 service to continue receiving that demand. So we help them do that again through intelligent robotic process automation. They can now take out that backlog, ensure they are providing these essential equipment to these customers. When we are able to capture the insights, learn, and automate, customers are increasingly reaching out to us asking, where should we start? Where do we apply this transformation, this disruption across our organization? Throughout this business transformation tour, you're going to learn about the impact of business process intelligence. How can we support customers to run process mining, identify the real opportunities for transformation, for efficiency, do benchmarking against peers within their industry or across other industries, have the intelligence to really understand what will be the impact of machine learning or automation in this specific process, to decide where to focus, where to take action. But then to actually implement it from the same system, integrated with the rest of solutions in the intelligent enterprise, action really the deployment of that transformation, its governance, its continuous monitoring. And you'll also learn about a key transformation. That is, now we can enable your business users, your citizen developers, to actually implement further automation, to be able to use low code and total no code offering to create new applications, new services that support internally, but also the continuous and changing demands of your customers. So that is really how we see the power of transformation to become a learning organization. I would now like to hand over to Shannon to share with us what is Intel's vision and how we're partnering on enabling customers across industries to become learning organizations.
Thanks, Marc. One of the amazing things we've been able to do together with SAP is work with Parkland Hospital, a leading healthcare provider who sees over 240,000 ER patients annually. One of the things we've been able to do is help them analyze their data. We've been able to work with them as they've tried to achieve real-time insights from all of the different data that they have coming in so that they can deliver better patient outcomes. We've been able to use technology like SAP HANA, like Intel Xeon Scalable platforms to be able to analyze these massive amounts of data and really find the nuggets that they need to deliver an overall better patient experience. Together, SAP and Intel have been able to work with leading companies like Siemens and their IT organization as they were looking to improve their database performance for their own internal needs. One of the things we've been able to do is achieve a 15x improvement in performance utilizing some of our latest technology, our Intel Xeon Scalable platforms, Optane persistent memory, the HANA database, and what we've been able to do with in-memory technology has really allowed Siemens to get incredible efficiency and improvements out of their infrastructure. Siemens was able to utilize Intel technology to get better infrastructure optimization, to reduce the complexity of their infrastructure, and to lower their TCO. Intel and SAP have been working with Mercy, a regional healthcare system, to really harvest some of the great data that they have in their electronic medical record system. Years ago, they implemented EMR and Epic, and what they've noticed is they have a bunch of structured data, but then they also have a lot of unstructured data in the form of clinical notes. And there's really a lot of analysis that could be done on that unstructured data. They initially used it around analyzing things like heart conditions and procedures that they were doing relative to cardiology. When the pandemic hit, they were able to then leverage that same system, but also looking at new ways of analyzing the data using some of the technology like Intel Xeon Scalable Systems and SAP, and really kind of say, okay, what do I get out of all these unstructured data and these clinical notes? And really then, what am I trying to get for a better outcome for the patients? I might be able to predict when a peak of the pandemic is going to hit in my area. And that allows me to put supplies in place and make sure that I'm able to take care of the surge in patients that are coming. I might be able to then look at, okay, on a treatment protocol, what worked well for a certain set of patients and some of the things that I've been able to do there. So they've been able to use a lot of the technology that we provide and some of the things with, like when you look at SAP and you look at HANA and you look at what happens with Optane persistent memory and very large in-memory databases, they're able to analyze vast amounts of data to get small nuggets of information that they're then able to use to improve patient outcome.
Thank you very much, Shannon. So we have seen how transformation must enable organizations to become learning organizations to react to those systemic challenges. But we must also help them take action. And this has changed over the past year. The focus we have seen is shifting from innovation as a test of a specific technology in a specific process or a new service to customers, which we could define maybe as narrow solutions. And when we're addressing these systemic challenges, we cannot focus only on these narrow approaches. We must really focus on transformation, on really helping enable our organizations to respond and continuously grow when facing future challenges. Let me share with you some examples. So, for example, in the utilities industry, where our customers are facing the double challenge of decarbonization and moving into complete renewables, energy-based services and products, but also facing a transformation in demand from traditional models to prosumer models, where their customers can also generate their own energy. They become a partner on our networks. So customers like Eneco in the utilities space have not focused only on leveraging technology for one specific innovative case with smart meters or a new service to the home of their customers. They have worked with our business technology platform to create really that digital foundation, completely moving to the cloud at really efficient speed and cost effectively, be able to create new products, new services, integrating data maybe with third parties, with stakeholders to provide these new green electricity, new innovative services. That is the focus of the transformation, create that digital foundation. When we go into the insurance world, we see customers like Ergo Mobility Solutions, who are now facing the complete disruption of the industry. When we look at mobility, think about car sharing, the impact of new e-mobility service, even self-driving vehicles. It's a complete disruption for the insurance model in automotive. So what Ergo Mobility focused on, working on our S4HANA insurance platform, is not only on innovative specific cases on IoT or new innovation scenarios, but really, again, to create the digital foundation that allows them to, at speed, with third parties, maybe with other insurance companies, with OEM, create new services, new engines to create policies, the right pricing models to address current transformation and future transformation. So it's not a narrow approach, it's a complete disruption and transformation approach. Or when we look into the transformation in the retail space, when we go into the physical space of the shopping malls, and we think about the impact of the pandemic, the competition of the new digital, online, mobile, and retail worlds. So customers like AG Real Estate in Belgium, who's the leader at a national level on running these large shopping malls, shopping centers, their approach has been to use our analytics platform to capture data from their transactional system, capture data on footfall, on how are those visitors entering those shopping malls, data from the environment, from weather, from the city, from traffic. And now they have the insights to really predict what will be the number of visitors on a specific day at the shopping mall. And now share this data with their retailers, plan new experiences for those visitors, combining the physical, the online world, a complete transformation. Not a unique, innovative case, but a complete digital foundation to transform the experience. So it's this approach, the move from narrow focused innovation cases to complete digital foundation transformation, that we see as the response to these systemic challenges. And maybe the key area to apply this innovation is, of course, fighting the pandemic, overcoming the current pandemic in itself. And this is a space where Intel and SAP have been collaborating with some very interesting cases. Shannon, could you please share those with us?
Thanks, Marc. One of the amazing things that Intel and SAP have been able to do as a result of this pandemic is work on leading technology that's been able to help governments, cities, hospitals, corporations really figure out how to provide a better outcome, a better experience, and be able to open up faster as a result of what we can analyze from a data perspective. The SAP Pandemic Cohort Management Suite, powered by Intel technology, has been able to provide a way to analyze data in a very secure fashion. New technology like Intel Software Guard Extensions, Intel SGX, has been able to look at data and securely analyze that data and protect that data. Previously, everybody talks about security and it says, okay, we have to secure data while it's moving. So as I'm moving it through a network, secure data while it's at rest. So if I'm storing the data somewhere. But now we have the ability to secure data while we're working on the data, while the data is in memory with Intel SGX technology. That's going to allow things like patient privacy really to become something where we can start to do a lot of collaboration where you don't want to transfer some patient information. What you want to be able to do is make a very secure transaction happen, especially for things like this pandemic. One of the things that we know is that large amounts of data and being able to analyze something like what's happening with infection rates is very critical. And being able to do that in an anonymous way on patient data with multiple different parties, multiple hospital systems, multiple different governments, vaccine providers, many different people need to look at that. Patient data needs to remain very secure, but now we have an ability to secure that data and protect it while you're processing it, while you're moving it, and then while it's at rest and being stored. And all of that's possible through some of the innovation of Intel and SAP. And one of the things we're excited about is the city of Heidelberg and Mayor Eckhard Woosner trying this new software technology and being one of the first to really pilot it. So we're very excited about where the technology is going, but we believe it's going to provide a wonderful outcome for all that try it.
Thank you very much, Shannon. So we have seen the impact of transformation to become learning organizations, to take action and create those digital foundations to face these challenges. But we must always make sure that this is aligned with the purpose of our company, of our brands, and that we're having a positive impact on an environmental, economic, and social level on the environment. And both Intel and SAP are extremely committed in this space. SAP has put sustainability at the core of its strategy, of its intelligent enterprise approach. We have now for 14 years been recognized as a leader in the software industry in sustainability by the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. So we want to be an example of using technology to become more sustainable, but also an enabler. And we need to use this transformation, this digital disruption, to help our customers be more sustainable. How do we do this? Let me share 3 areas. In first place, help customers measure their impact, understand those externalities. If not, we cannot act. That is, for example, and going back to the case of Duller, how we help this customer analyze and track the carbon footprint of over 5,000 raw materials they use through their production, and then identify the carbon footprint of over 20,000 lines of products and share this data with their customers. They can measure their impact and take decisions. The next step is to act, not only to measure. So how do we eliminate that impact? How do we help reduce it or offset it? For example, becoming more efficient in the use of natural resources, reducing waste. Let me share with you a very interesting case. This is the case of Endeavour. Endeavour is focused on producing and growing top quality fresh products, salads, vegetables, but they operate in complex environments, for example, in the desert in Kuwait. So they have leveraged the business technology platform to transform how they are growing these salads and vegetables. They can now move into indoor vertical farming with hundreds of sensors that ensure they are using 0 pesticides and 90% less water. A top quality product grown close to their customers, fresh and much more sustainable. So it's not only understanding your impact, not only taking action, you must make sure that this focus on purpose, this focus on sustainability is connected to your stakeholders, connected to the community. So what we're calling the connected purpose. And here it's very important to leverage the transformation and the impact of the intelligent business networks. This is, for example, the case of IAG in Australia. They're leveraging our business network at SAP with over 4 million companies buying and selling products and services on the platform to now be able to prioritize the spend that their employees are doing on local SMEs, those that have been registered by women entrepreneurs that might need additional support to grow their business. So now their spend, their purchasing power is focusing on increasing diversity, inclusiveness, and also economic growth in the community across Australia. So those are the 3 areas that we consider SAP extremely important: measure, act, and connect with that purpose. But I know that this focus on sustainability, on purpose, is also at the core of Intel's strategy. So Shannon, once again, could you share how we're working together and collaborating in this space and Intel's key focus?
One of the innovative companies utilizing SAP HANA is Martha Foam Pack in Turkey. They're a manufacturing organization. They have 12 plants in 8 different cities, and they analyze massive amounts of data. They use IoT technology and sensors all around their facilities to gather millions of points of data. When they bring that data together, that's when they really are able to figure out, okay, how do I get insight from this data? They're a leading innovator in utilizing energy and trying to minimize the reduction of greenhouse gases and some of the things that they do relative to energy consumption. They have concerns for when their factories are both not running and are at low utilization, and then when they're at high utilization. So some of the things that they're able to do utilizing HANA and Intel technology is analyze, okay, how much renewable energy is there out there that I might be able to consume while I'm running my factories? And that might help me obviously lower my energy costs, but also lower the greenhouse gases overall that I'm consuming. And then when my factories are not in their highest utilization states, how do I lower the footprint as low as possible, utilizing as much renewables as I can, but really being able to predict my usage patterns for when I'm going to need energy so that then I can look out what's available in the market and make decisions based on that. So just incredible use overall of SAP and HANA and Intel's technology. Martha Fompack, a leader in the industry. One of the things we at Intel pride ourselves on is our corporate responsibility. We were one of the first companies to publish an annual corporate sustainability report. It's available online, and you can see all of the great things that we're working on as a company and all of the things that we make progress on every year. It could be things like renewable energy, conflict-free minerals, what we're doing around inclusion, what we're doing around equity and gender and equality in pay. Many different things that we believe make the world a better place. And for Intel, they're incredibly important. They're things that we track, that we measure, and that we make progress on to make the world a better place.
Thank you very much, Shannon. So, in summary, we have seen how business transformation, the use of innovation and digital technologies can help us really become learning organizations, take action to create that digital foundation, but to always ensure we do it with purpose. And that way is how organization will face up to these systemic challenges, the complexity of what we define as wicked problems. So I would like to invite you to make the most of this business transformation tool, which you're going to be exposed to much more detail about these solutions and their impact, but also to make you aware of the need to accelerate this business transformation and the new offering from SAP, Rise with SAP, this new business transformation as a service offering that will allow you to adapt the pace to accelerate the business transformation at the speed and the needs of your company, of your industry. With that, thank you very much for your time. I would like to hand over now to Shannon for the closing. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Mark and myself, I'd like to say thank you for joining. As you can see, Intel and SAP are very committed to technology development, and you heard from us today about some of the things relative to learning and action and purpose, real material things that we believe you can do to go help make the world a better place. Thank you all very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you sometime again in the near future.